Shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praises and glory and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Wakakadash. Double honors to the elders who preach the word truthfully and sincerely. In the name of Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Wakakadash. And shalom to the Akim, scattered through the four corners of the globe, preaching the word truthfully and sincerely. In the name of Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Wakakadash. I say shalom to you Akim out there. And this is a news article that I wanted to bring out for this sit-down lesson as of January 10th, 2023 at 1:04 p.m. Central Standard Time on this Tuesday afternoon. And this is a article from UPI.com, World News, by Matt Baraninian, if I pronounce his name right, Salakia. And it reads, Japan and India to conduct air defense exercises. It says India announced that it will be holding joint defense exercises with Japan this month, as both nations seek to demonstrate to China their defense abilities. It says exercise Veer Garden 2023 will take place January 16th through the 26th at Japan's Hikari Air Base in Aroma Air Base ABP. ABP Live reported that Japan aims to signal to China that Japan can provide air support to India from the Pacific, while India can help Japan with its air strength from the side of the Indian Ocean. The aircraft that will participate in the exercise are four Su-30 Mk-1S and two C-17s from India, and four F-2 and four F-15 fighter jets from Japan. The exercise will involve various area combat drills between the two air forces. Experts from both sides will also hold discussions to share their expertise on varied operational aspects. Exercise Veer Garden will fortify the long-standing bond of relationship. Oh, thanks, bro. It's all right. Salakia. It says the exercise will involve various aerial combat drills between the two air forces. Experts from both sides will hold discussions to share their expertise on various operation aspects. Exercise Veer Garden will fortify the long-standing bond of relationship and enhance avenues of defense cooperation between the two air forces. The Indian Air Force said, according to the Indian Express, this exercise will thus be another step in the deepening strategic ties and closer defense cooperation between the two countries. This is not the first time the two countries have hosted joint military exercise. In September, the Indian and Japanese navies participated in maritime exercise. Japan also hosts India, the United States, and Australia in the bilateral exercise in Malabar in November.
That's it. I don't need to go into all the pluses or minuses, but we're not basing. I've got a lot more to evaluate Mac McCarthy on than this playoff game.
There's Coach Herm Edwards. Coach,
13:7. And when ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars, be ye not troubled, for such things must need be, but the end shall not be at. Mark 13:8. For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be earthquakes in diverse places, and there shall be famines, and these are the beginning of sorrows. So, right, you're gonna have these nations showing their nuclear capability, their military drill exercise, to their Air Force drill exercise, military security cooperation between the nations, but against their potential allies. If they face on the enemy threat, they got security assistance, security cooperation from their allies against their adversaries if they come on the enemy threat. That's why you're seeing these military exercises increasingly building up between the nations that's allies with one another against their potential adversaries. And I was reading through the news article. It was saying that Japan was aiming at China to let them know that they can be able to help India in their Air Force ability, and then you have India can be able to help Japan as well too with their nuclear capability. So that shows you a strong allegiance between India and Japan, as they both take shots at China, and especially Japan letting China know that we can be able to assist our allies with nuclear capability and air support nuclear capability as well. And not too long ago, you had tensions between India and China. I believe it was cross border. I believe they was having some little conflict. They've been having some conflict with one another quite some while. So that does make sense. Even though the tensions has calmed down a little bit for the past, say, a month or so, when that incident had happened, they was it got into a little physical altercation. They was beating each other up. I remember that last month. But yeah, so the tensions are definitely gonna be still there between India and China, and Japan taking shots at China as well too. So India and Japan, they is showing their nuclear capability against China, in the Indo-Pacific island. And this is the book of Mark, chapter 13, verse 8. For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be earthquakes in diverse places, and there shall be famines and troubles. These are the beginning of sorrows. I'm going to go to verse 7 again. Mark 13:7, and it reads, And when ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars, see that ye be not troubled, for all these things must need be, but the end shall not be yet. Right, because you have the allegiance and military security cooperation, and a stronger allegiance ties with Japan, South Korea, and the United States against China. So that was kind of aiming at China as well too. Even though China got allegiance of Russia, Iran, and North Korea, they got allegiance as well too. So that's why I brought out those scriptures of Mark 13:8. The nations rising up against nations and kingdom against kingdoms, and these nations are doing these military exercise drills. These military exercise drills with these nations that's alliance with one another, and taking shots at their adversaries, just in case they come on an enemy threat, because they know they have allies that they can depend on and trust. That's why they got that economic bond between the nations and security. No, Bert just gave me some chips and stuff.
You got your killing on yet?
No, not yet. They probably, yeah, probably like in the middle of the month they might do it. Yeah. I would say probably like around the 15th or 17th or something like that.
15, another week.
Or the 20th, yeah.
Yeah. After next week.
Oh, you checking the mailbox?
Ain't nothing in there.
Oh,
Well, sometimes you want to let them talk.
right. Oh, like I was mentioning, you know, you have the strong security, cooperation, and stability of allegiance between these different nations against their adversaries, just in case if they come under enemy threat. You know, and they have more exceeding training, more nuclear capabilities, more of their air base capability, their air force capability, their naval drills capability, their naval force capability, and their ground troops capability, their nuclear capability as well too. So that's why you've been seeing an increase of these military exercise training drills, these simulation attack type training drills between these different nations and nations that's allies with one another as well too, you know. So that's why I brought out the scripture. Even though it's just, you know, like I mentioned before in my previous videos, I've been doing sit down lessons in regards to this. Even though they just, you know, they might just look at it as just military exercises and stuff like that, you know. They might kind of think, they might kind of think like, oh, it's not nothing big, but it's definitely important, you know. Because ain't that a coincidence you've been seeing a rise and increase of these military training, these military nuclear capability, you know, of these different nations. As I mentioned before, you know, you have nations that's security stable allegiance with the allies of these nations against their adversaries. That's why you've been seeing a high increase of these military training, these military exercise training drills, these military type war game type exercise drills as well too, you know, throughout the year of 2021, 2022. Now we're entering 2023 of this continue to increase or build up of these things, even though they might just look at it just a regular exercise drill, but these military drills and exercise are definitely important because now you're starting to see nations are increasing allies with one another just in case they come under enemy threat because they know they have the same enemy. That's why these nations do these build up exercise drills, increasing their nuclear capability, do these full exercise training simulation type attack drills, just like with Iran versus Israel, because Israel be doing simulation type simulation a type tactic attacks against Iran, and Iran do the same thing to Israel. So we definitely been seeing an increase of these things like I just named, you know. So that's why I brought out the Mark 13:7 with the wars and rumors of wars increasing, and Mark 13:8 to the next verse of you know, nations are rising up against one another, and these nations are definitely increasing of going against one another, you know. If it could be from economic standpoint, a war standpoint, a military training standpoint, it could be in many different categories. It's just not like one straight to the point, but it's in many different categories, and that's what we've definitely been seeing, you know. So I just want to add a note to that. But other than that, so I hope this lesson was edifying, even though it's just a exercise drill. But you know, I had broke it down in that sense of the military buildup, the military nuclear capabilities with the nations that's alliance with one another against their adversaries, just in case if they come under enemy threat or they come under enemy threats that's sending strong message to them, and then they'll be fully prepared and ready for what comes their way. As I mentioned before, you've been seeing the military exercise drills been increasing at a higher rate now. So with that, this news article that I just recently brought out from UPI.com as of January 10th, 2023, and it was published by Matt Bordania, World News Alternative News. As it says, Japan and India to conduct joint air defense exercise. So once again, I hope this lesson was edifying of the reading of this news article along with the scriptures that I was able to bring up in reference to this news article. So with that, I would like to give all praises and glory and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Karkadash. Double honors to the elders who preach this word truthfully and sincerely. In the name of Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Karkadash. And shalom to the Akim, scattered through the four corners of the globe, preaching the word truthfully and sincerely. In the name of Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Karkadash. Until next time, I will say shalom.